the Roosevelt FFA chapter. Is there any further business?
Madam Chairman,
Chester.
I move that we reconsider the motion that we grow Easter lilies in the greenhouse as a fundraiser. I was on the prevailing side.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to reconsider the motion that was previously adopted to grow Easter lilies in the greenhouse as a fundraiser. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman,
Chester.
I believe that we should reconsider this motion so that we can fully go into the depths of it and see if we truly want this to be adopted. I encourage the Assembly to vote yes on this reconsiderment.
Is there any further debate on the motion to reconsider? Seeing there is none, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the motion to grow Easter lilies in the greenhouse as a fundraiser, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The motion fails. Is there any further business?
Madam
Madam
Chairman,
Chairman.
Shaylee.
I move that our chapter send 10 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that our chapter send 10 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Shaylee.
I made this motion because I believe that sending 10 volunteers to serve the Farm Bureau dinner is the most constructive thing that we can be doing for our chapter right now. Our theme for this year with our chapter is service, and I believe that sending our volunteers there is really fulfilling our theme for the year, as well as allowing them to engage with the community and make connections as they continue out through life. Please pass up with me.
Madam Chairman.
Ty.
I had the opportunity to serve dinner at the Cattlemen's Dinner a few weeks ago, and I had a really great time getting a few more service hours and also meeting fellows in the community that could donate to our chapter. So I'd encourage the Assembly to vote this motion up.
Madam Chairman.
Jack.
I find this motion absolutely appalling. We don't have a date and time for this, and we just don't know. We don't have any transportation lined up, and there's just so many details that we need to figure out, and I just don't think that this would be the most beneficial thing for our chapter. So I encourage the Assembly to fail this.
Madam Chairman.
Emmy.
I don't see how this can benefit our chapter when we don't even know when the dinner is or who would be going. I think this would be too much planning, and there are other things that we should be dealing with at this moment. I encourage the Assembly to fail this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Chester.
I do not believe that this motion is efficient for our chapter, seeing as we'd only send 10 volunteers. If we're only going to send 10 volunteers, I do not see why we do not find a different motion that can help more of our chapter gain service hours that they need. I encourage someone to vote no.
Alright, so your point of information.
State your point.
Who would we send?
We haven't yet determined that yet. We would have to look at who would be interested.
Madam Chairman.
Jack.
I move that we suspend the standing chapter rule, that we rise while addressing the chair.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the standing chapter rule, that you must rise while addressing the chair. Seeing as this motion is not debatable nor amendable, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of suspending the standing chapter rule, that you must rise while addressing the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The motion to suspend the rule fails. Is there any further debate?
Madam Chairman.
Ty.
I move to postpone this motion definitely to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to postpone this motion definitely to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Ty.
As we can see, we have a lot of stuff that is still need to work out on this main motion. So postponing this definitely can help all of us work out the details within our own minds and come back to our next meeting ready to debate further into this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Chester.
This is an ill-conceived motion. I do not think that we should postpone this motion where we can deal with this right now with the mind power that we have on this floor. I highly encourage the Assembly to vote no on this postponement.
Madam
Madam
Chairman,
Shaylee.
one of my favorite quotes is by Benjamin Franklin. He said that you may delay, but time will not. And I truly believe that if we postpone this, that is exactly what we are doing. We are delaying and not moving forward with the time we've been given to handle this issue. We are all very capable of handling it right now, so let's move forward. Please help me in failing.
Madam Chairman,
Jack.
this is the best course of action for a chapter. As I've stated earlier, there's so many details that we still need to work out, and I feel like if we can postpone this motion definitely, that gives us a good chunk of time to figure out all those details and really solidify and get a good plan to move forward.
Madam Chairman,
Emmy.
I can outline my consent to this motion. I don't see why we would push it further and not just deal with it now when we have the resources and the time set aside to do it. I encourage the Assembly to fail this motion.
I rise to a parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
What is the vote required to pass this motion?
This motion requires a majority vote for passage.
Thank you.
Is there any further debate on the motion to postpone definitely? Seeing there is none, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of postponing this motion definitely to our next regularly scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No!
The motion to postpone fails.
Division.
A division of assembly has been called for. All those in favor of postponing this motion definitely, please rise. Thank you, you may be seated. All those opposed, please rise. Thank you, you may be seated. The motion to postpone fails. Is there any further debate on the motion?
Madam Chairman,
Emmy.
I move to refer this to Committee of Three, appointed by the Chair, given no power to act, and to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to refer this motion to a committee of three, appointed by the chair, given no power to act, and to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Emmy.
I presented this motion because it would make it so that we would have time to plan other things. And with this committee, they would be able to figure out what time the dinner is and when it is and who the best people in our chapter would be to send. I encourage the assembly to undertake this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Jack.
While this motion wouldn't be as efficient as the postman definitely, I still feel like this would be a great course of action. And so we can find out those other details, and getting another group of people to help us figure this out might bring up new perspectives that can really help us make this great for our chapter.
Madam Chairman,
Shaylee.
I can absolutely not stand with this referral. We have set aside our time. We've decided a lot of things with this, and with our time that we've set aside, we have the ability to deal with this motion. We don't need to be handing it off to other people. We can deal with this, so let's do it now.
Madam Chairman,
Ty.
I believe that referring this to a committee is the worst thing that we could do right now. We have been trusted with this motion within ourselves. We should decide this by ourselves. We should not be sending this off to a committee for other people to take care of.
Is there any further debate on the motion to refer? Seeing there is none, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of referring this motion to a committee of three, appointed by the chair, given no power to act, and to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No!
The motion to refer fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion?
Madam Chairman,
Ty.
I move to amend this motion to strike out 10 and replace it with 15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to amend the motion to strike out the word 10 and insert the word 15, so that if passed, the motion will read, I move that our chapter send 15 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman.
Ty.
Seeing as this is a county farm bureau dinner, there is likely to be a lot of people there, and I do not think that 10 members would be sufficient enough for us to provide. So therefore, 15 would give us the needed numbers to efficiently work with this farm bureau dinner.
Madam Chairman.
Chester.
This amendment quells all of my previous apprehension towards this motion. I believe that this amendment is one of the best things that has come up out of this current session. I encourage them to vote yes on this amendment.
Madam Chairman,
Shaylee.
as the maker of this motion, I stand with this amendment. Sending 15 members instead of just the 10 is exactly what we need to be doing right now. It'll give them the opportunity to continue to engage with people in our community, as well as send more and make it a more efficient dinner as they're serving. Please help me in passing up.
Madam Chairman,
Jack.
I still don't think that this amendment would make the main motion worthwhile. There might be other people sending volunteers as well, so if we send 15, that might edge other people out of their times to volunteer and just maybe put a bad impression on our FFA chapter. So I encourage the Assembly to fail this motion because of what it would do to our chapter.
Is there any further debate on the motion to amend? Seeing there is none, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of amending the motion, strike out the word 10 and insert the word 15, so that if passed, the motion will read, I move that our chapter send 15 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner. Please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The motion passes. The motion now reads, I move that our chapter send 15 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner. Is there any further debate?
I rise to a
Madam
question of privilege.
State your question.
May I take my jacket off? It's awfully hot in here.
No, you may not. That would be unprofessional and it would interrupt the meeting.
Madam Chairman,
Emmy?
I'd like to echo what I've previously stated about the main motion. I just don't think it would be worth our time or worthwhile to send volunteers, even if it is a higher number. We don't even know when the dinner would be and how much it would benefit our chapter. I encourage the assembly to fail this motion.
Madam Chairman,
Ty?
I too would like to once more reiterate my enthusiasm for this motion. This is a great way to get service hours and a great opportunity for our members to interact with people outside of their age group and to further improve their social skills.
Is there any further debate on the main motion? Seeing there is none, we will now take a vote. All those in favor of our chapter sending 15 volunteers to serve at the County Farm Bureau dinner, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The motion passes. Is there any further business? Once again, I would like to call for any further business. Seeing there is none, meeting adjourned. Please rise for questioning. Okay, we'll begin with the member who motion to
Your question. What are two subsidiary motions that yield to the motion to commit or refer?
Lay on the table. Good easy.
Postpone definitely. Vote number one, two questions. What vote is required on the motion to postpone definitely?
Majority vote.
And when does the motion to postpone definitely require a two-thirds vote?
If it is being made a special order for the next meeting.
Okay, suspend the rules. In two rules that may not be sustained.
Those would be rules regarding the rights and privileges of the assembly and rules that protect the right.
Parliamentary inquiry? Is a parliamentary inquiry in order when more than one member has the floor?
Yes, it is.
And, I'm sorry, it's a
You're good.
two-part question. What vote is required to adopt the parliamentary inquiry?
Can you repeat that?
What vote is required to adopt the parliamentary inquiry?
There is not a vote. It is the chair's vote.
Reconsider.
That was me.
Order number two, if a main motion was passed by unanimous consent, who can make the motion to reconsider?
Anybody, because they were all on the prevailing side.
Okay, Madam Chair. In the absence of a quorum, what four actions can you legally continue?
Can you repeat the question?
In the absence of a quorum, what four actions can legally continue?
You can postpone the meeting until you have a quorum. You can, if the members previously notified that they're not going to be there, you can have a mail-in ballot vote. You can you repeat the question one more time? Sorry.
In the absence of a quorum, what four actions can be taken legally?
Any vote that is taken must be by unanimous consent. They may postpone business.
Any questions? I want to start, does anybody have any does anybody want to clarify previous answers made by the clerk?
Can you repeat the question that was made for commit or refer?
What are two subsidiary motions that yield to the motion to commit or refer?
Yeah, I would like to clarify, that would be amend and postpone indefinitely.
suspending two rules that may not be suspended?
I just wanted to add two more just in case. That would be bylaws and federal laws as well.
I have a question about the division. Is that what is called on the vote is taken? I just wanted to clarify, or if anybody wants to talk about both the vote is taken and the division of vote versus
I want to say, based on what I saw from the chair position, there was one person that didn't like get their voice go out, and so I think that was part of why the division was called to give them another opportunity to maybe stand up and give a vote that time.
When I made the division, I did not think I could hear all the members clearly. I wasn't sure that the vote was correct, that the chair had restated.
Can anyone name the subsidiary motions in order?
Let's go.
Open
Yeah.
it.
So let's lay on the table. Previous question, limit or extend limits of debate. Postpone definitely. Commit or refer, amend, postpone indefinitely.
You made a motion.
We got it. Thanks for the vote.
Thank you.